Welcome to the ultimate autumn jacket guide for 2025. Hello, my name is Lydia and I am a style educator aiming to help you maximize your own wardrobes and find your own personal style. So in order to do this, my content is based around sharing tips and tricks that I use within my wardrobe, but also just general style guides so that you can form your own opinions and see what's going to work for you in your wardrobe, your lifestyle. So today I have the ultimate jacket guide for autumn, not so much winter coats. This is definitely autumn focused. I have 9 styles, and what I'm going to do with each is explain what they are, what they're useful for, and also hopefully by breaking down the categories, you might be able to pinpoint the gaps that you've got in your wardrobe. You might have 4 of these jackets and realize that there's one crucial missing piece that would be very useful for you. So let's get into it. Jacket number 1 is the long trench. So these are good for coverage, obviously out and about in the rain in the autumn. Weather's unpredictable, 1 minute it's sunny, 1 minute it's raining. So the coverage you get is great, but also a longer trench is quite a smart piece, which means it's perfect for a workwear look. But the beauty of a long trench is that it can also be translated for casual as well. So if you don't want to invest in multiple jackets for all your different occasions, then I would suggest going for a long trench because it is really that one that covers all eventualities. It looks great with jeans, it looks great with trousers, it looks great with some skirts. I would usually say make sure your skirt or dress is not longer than the length of the coat. I think a mini skirt works really well. So it goes with lots of different trousers and bottoms, and also goes with most styles of shoes as well. The thing I would say is that it doesn't provide loads of warmth, but because they are usually quite loose, then you can get a couple of layers underneath. The next jacket is a short trench. So these are more of a trend piece at the moment. I would say a trench is a trench and it will always be in fashion. But I think if you're looking to add a bit of a trend angle and feel like you've maybe had your trench for years, wear it to death, wear it all the time, want something similar but a bit fresher and modern, then try a short trench, especially one with a funnel neck. I think funnel neck jackets in general are not only so useful because they're practical, but also feel a little bit more modern too. Okay, so the pros of a short jacket is that they're easy to throw on. They create a really nice casual look, as I said, a little bit more trend-led. They are great if you are petite and find that sometimes a longer trench is either too long or kind of drowns you in the fabric. A short trench creates the same look, but can be a little bit more flattering. They're also great with wider trousers, wider jeans, obviously huge at the moment. Barrel jeans are big, barrel trousers, and a shorter trench complements those really nicely. So I'd say if you wear a lot of those trousers, a short trench would be great for you. Not quite as versatile because I don't think it's as smart as a longer trench, and also you don't get that full length coverage, so just something to bear in mind. Jacket number 3 is a blazer. I personally love a blazer, but I would say I've gravitated more towards crop jackets over the past year or two. Obviously they've been having more of a trend moment, but a blazer never goes anywhere. It's a very classic style. Even something that's a bit more trend-led, like this brown suede, has a classic feel to it because of the inherent shape of a blazer. You can go back through all the years and blazers have been around for men and for women. They're easy to wear, easy to style. They make casual pieces look more elevated. So if you feel like you wear loads of casual pieces, kind of like me, I wear a lot of jeans and a t-shirt, a blazer will then just smarten up your look and make it feel instantly pulled together. It's that one piece that has the ability to instantly pull a look together and make it feel more formal. Obviously, they're not really waterproof, so something to bear in mind when it comes to investing. But on those dry autumnal days, a blazer is the perfect piece to make your casual outfits look smarter, and just any outfit really, it will instantly make it more timeless, more classic and smarter. Number 4 is the long blazer coat. I'm just going to show you what I mean by this. So this is a blazer coat. So obviously we've got the style of the blazer, which has the kind of boxier shoulder. It's not a heavy wool fabric like, you know, like a big winter coat. It's more of a sleek style, quite minimal, and this is what I mean by a blazer coat. This is from a brand called Mamu Studios, by the way. Now, I think these are really useful at this time of year because they bridge the seasons really nicely, and they also look smart. So they carry that smartness of the blazer. But if it does go cooler where you are, particularly in the UK, it goes cool quite quickly, and blazers are not necessarily always appropriate for the weather. The blazer coat will just take you through autumn really nicely without feeling like you're wearing your big heavy winter coat. So I do feel like for that gap, it is really useful. Okay, the downsides. They're sometimes not as comfortable because they do have that structure to them. You can't necessarily layer lots underneath because, again, if they've got a structure of a blazer sleeve, unless they're quite oversized, which people don't always like, then you can't fit lots underneath because sometimes it feels a bit restrictive around the shoulders. So just 2 downsides to keep in mind for the blazer coat. 5 is the leather jacket. Now let's talk about the qualities of the leather jacket, which I absolutely love. So a leather jacket works to toughen up your outfit. It will add edge to pieces. I, again, just love wearing leather jackets with like jeans and a t-shirt, and I think the leather jacket just brings the cool factor. So if you're looking for that one piece, it's kind of like the blazer, but like an edgier cousin of the blazer. So if you're looking for that one outerwear piece that will complete the look, then I think the leather jacket is an edgier, cooler way to do that. We're seeing lots around at the moment. Again, mentioning that funnel neck, which is so on trend. I really, really want a funnel neck boxy jacket. Massimo Dutti have an amazing one, but I think it's about £500, and I'm not sure I want to make that investment, but it's so good. So that's another kind of downside. If you're going for a real leather one, they can be expensive, but there are a lot of really great faux leather ones on the high street. I've got to say, I've got my mango one that I wear to death, and it does feel really nice quality that you can wear over and over again. And they do look great with those softer pieces. So if you're somebody who likes to wear a skirt, but maybe feels like sometimes it just doesn't feel very trend-led, or it just feels a little bit too soft and delicate, adding in the leather will really counteract that. They are waterproof as well, but obviously don't provide loads of warmth like a proper coat would. Jacket number 6 follows on really nicely, and that is the suede jacket. Now, obviously goes without saying that these are not waterproof. I've got this beautiful one on from Discovery today, but it does limit me to the times that I'm going to be wearing this jacket. So they can be an expensive investment. Again, if you go for real suede, can be expensive, and your time might be a little bit limited unless you live in quite a dry place. But also I've got to say, I've got suede jackets and I do feel like I get plenty wear out of them on those dry days. Now, if you like the leather look, but perhaps feel it's a little bit too tough for you, a bit too kind of bikery for you, and just doesn't suit your style, then the suede jacket might be the one for you because it's a softer version of the leather. It kind of ticks the same box, but just with that softness to it. So it brings a cool element to your outfit, it brings a bit of a trend element to your outfit, and it also brings texture to your outfit, but it creates a softer statement than the leather jacket. But it's definitely one of those pieces that, like this jacket for example, I'm just wearing some jeans and a grey t-shirt, but the jacket makes the outfit. So very much like the leather, but a softer version. Next is the quilted cropped jacket. Now by this I mean a kind of loose style that's a bit shorter, quilted. Now you can get these in like a more padded style, so they're a bit warmer. You can also get them in a lighter weight, kind of waterproof, just throw over style of jacket. Now, these are extremely useful for day-to-day life, I think. They're very practical. You can just throw them on with everything. They look great with jeans. If you've got a trench coat already and just feel maybe a bit bored of your trench, then a cropped quilted jacket might be a nice alternative, and it definitely gives a slightly less classic feel than a trench. Trench coats can sometimes feel very, very classic, whereas this feels a little bit more modern, but still very wearable. A couple of downsides, maybe they tend not to have collars, so bit of cold around your neck maybe, but a lot of jackets are like that. So a scarf might be needed or a higher neck jumper in that cooler weather. But also I would say if it is that climate where you are, where it's not that cold, these are really useful because you can get very lightweight ones that just kind of cover you up, bit of protection without feeling like you're wearing a heavy coat. So I think that's a really good one to consider. Number 8 is the barn jacket. This is very on trend at the moment. Again, you can just use your barn jacket to update all your pieces if you want to. I've got a longer trench coat version of the barn jacket, but lots of them are cropped. I do think you can go wrong with this style of jacket. I think there are lots of bad versions of this jacket out there. So I would say find a really nice quality version of this if you're going to go down the barn route jacket. They're really casual, easy to throw on, a bit like the quilted jacket. You can just kind of pop them on and you're good to go with your basics. But I would say be careful with the particular barn jacket that you can go for, because I think there are a lot of kind of ones that look a bit bad quality out there. And to round up my jackets guide, the final one I'm going to talk about is the cropped wool jacket. So this is the Boxy style. We've seen them for the past couple of years now, but they particularly came big last year. And I honestly can see why. They are that jacket that I go to time and time again. It's a real kind of fail-safe jacket for me. I think because there's something about the piece itself. It inherently looks both smart and casual at the same time. So it definitely feels more casual than a blazer does. I think because they're usually collarless or a bit boxy, they feel smart, but just very effortless at the same time. You just kind of throw it on. There's a ladylike quality to it, but also a casual quality to it. And that merged together works really nicely. So the thing with this is it can kind of be warm, but it kind of can be cool at the same time. So because they tend to be quite boxy and wide, you sometimes need a bit of layering underneath to provide the warmth. Sometimes they're also not lined, so they're just plain wool. So again, you perhaps need a little bit of layering underneath, but that again is very useful at this time of year to add some layers or take away layers. It also has that autumnal feel. If it is warmer where you are, you could wear something like a tank top underneath and then the jacket, and it's still quite loose and airy, but it has more of an autumnal look to it. Another great thing is that there's lots out there at the moment. They look cool, they look modern, they're still classic. You can find so many colors out there. I have black, I have brown, I have grey, and I wear them all in my wardrobe. So I would say this is a really useful piece. Obviously it's not like a waterproof jacket or, you know, like a trench where you've got that full coverage, or the long blazer with the full coverage. But for autumn, it's such a nice piece. And then they translate really nicely for winter. More it's like kind of wearing them inside. You can actually wear them inside like a blazer. And also another point to mention about this is that they look really nice in the evening as well. So going into winter too, if you're going out for occasions at night and just need a bit of a jacket over the top that you can continue wearing inside, then this is the perfect one for that too. And again, probably goes with the trouser and skirt shapes that are more on trend at the moment as opposed to longer blazers. So I do think that is probably a really worthy investment if you don't have one already. So that is all 9 styles, my breakdown of them all. The pros and cons so that you can make your mind up as to whether this will suit you. I have all of these in my wardrobe, so I know which ones I gravitate towards the most. I would say the longer trench is very, very useful, and the shorter trench, and also that crop jacket at the moment, very, very useful in my lifestyle. So let me know if it's been useful. If you want me to do kind of this with other categories, leave a comment, let me know. Do subscribe before you leave. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.